RS is, what is it now? I forgot what it's called now. My memory's lost. Rob VK3IE, I'm not sure whether he's running his system tonight, but yeah, Richard runs Discord. So first up, the thing will be Peter, VK3BFG, and then Peter, if you could put it straight back to me, and then I'll be calling in Ian and Mick. So not too many stations on tonight, but I'm sure the ones that are on have got something interesting to show us tonight, and I've got something to show a little bit later regarding ports down forwards. So Peter, if you're ready to go, I'm watching on RTV1, so please switch now to RTV1 for Peter VK3BFG.
Okay, I think we're there. Maybe the audio's a little bit high. We won't talk too loud. Good evening, VK3BFG. Haven't got too much tonight, but one thing that does come to mind. Sorry, I've missed that comment. I guess things are okay. I think the audio's there. The train and hobby show is on. I think it's the weekend after.
I'm not sure you've got audio, Peter.
Oh.
Yeah, there's video, but there's music in the background.
Audio, music in the background. Okay.
Very nice music, though. Yeah, the music's still playing.
Just one moment. Stand by. Okay, just confirm there, guys. The background music's gone now.
It's all good.
Okay, good.
The conductor has left the building.
Thanks, guys. Well, there it is. Yeah, just a button on the ATM. I was about to say the train and hobby show is on. I think it's the weekend after the long weekend in March, and the Melbourne ATV group is going to be there. And at the moment, I'm it. But what I'm doing right now is reaching out to people. We need some help to set up the display on Friday night, and then we need people to man the display on Saturday and Sunday.
Friday during the day.
Oh, okay, thanks. And then, of course, to pack up on Sunday after the event is closed. So if you just drop me an email telling me when you might be able to help out, that would be great. We'll probably possibly have some microwave gear there as well for interest. And it'll be a combined stand with Amateur Radio Victoria. So yeah, it should be good, and it's always great. We have video distributed right throughout the whole Sandown area with the many monitors around, which is really good. So this year, Richard, I know you're a very busy man, but you've got to send me some nice quality train videos so that we can put those up when no one's up operating on RTV. So that would be good. So there we are. Just send me an email if you're able to help on any of those days and times. And I think Richard said we can get in Friday afternoon, so that'll be good. Anyway, more news about that definite perhaps next week after we get some info from Richard. The Portsdown system at VK3ER didn't work last Friday night. I'm suspecting that the operator, Luke, he's a IT guy, and he wasn't going through the process that we've sort of set down for it. And I know with Portsdown, it's very easy to go down the rabbit hole and not working. So what I'm doing is I'm installing software on my portable machine. I'll take that down on Thursday and just get the system going again. And I'm pretty sure he's just not following the required. He seemed to be zotting around all over the place. So we'll have to try and get them on the straight and narrow there, because we all know that the Portsdown system works, but it can be a bit of a trial if you're not doing the right thing, especially when you're using OBS as well. And that's the case there. It's even possible they've upgraded or updated the OBS, and that's the first thing I'm going to look at. I suspect that might have been the case, and that's a no. You've got to stick on the required version of OBS for the Portsdown to work. Anyway, hopefully we'll get 3R back on here again. It'll be every Friday night, once a month they have their meetings, and they always have an interesting speaker, and it was really good Friday night. Mark 3 Oscar Hotel Mike had the laser cutter there and was demonstrating how it all worked, and made some boxes in front of our own eyes. And the boxes, they look as though they're the old-fashioned joins that the joiners used to do, but they just fit exactly, and you almost don't need any glue because of the fit for the sides of the boxes. And there's also other shapes and sizes they can do as well. So yeah, it was an interesting night. I'm running on the Hello Box right now up at RTV. It can be a little bit cantankerous. Sometimes you have to restart to get the audio running properly, and even changing the PIDs. At the moment they're on 600 series PIDs, and maybe if we just keep them on that, everything might be okay. We'll see how that goes anyway. I do have one of the Hello Boxes here that I converted, and those of you that know what they look like, they don't look like that. That's in a plastic case, and you can see the Hello Box there, the connectors, which is very accessible. That's really good. And there's no top on the Hello Box, taking that off, so there's lots of sort of air there to circulate around. And what I was able to do with the Hello Box was to actually take the infrared detector off the printed circuit board with a little bit of the rework device that I've got, and then bend the signal lead out and put that through my little microprocessor system. So it worked out quite easy to control, really. And also there is a LED that's got a signal on it, which is enough for me to code. I think I mentioned last week we're just looking at a set of pulses, and when there's an active signal there, the pulse width goes a bit higher. So I'm just measuring that, and that activates the Hello Box quite okay. So we're operating on that now. I've got a spare one here. So we'll just see how it runs. It is a little bit quirky on the audio, but at least it seems like a viable option that we can work with at least. And it's worked okay, I think, tonight. So that's about it for me for tonight. So we're going back to Neil and to RTV2. So this is VK3 BFG, 1 Turner South. Cheers, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Peter. There was the occasional glitch on the audio, but it could have been me because my receive signal is a little bit marginal at the moment. Now, I know some of you guys use the ports down. I don't use mine, it's a spare. But I'm sure some of the people that might be thinking of getting into ATV will use a ports down with a lime. There's a lime inside there. And the issue with using the lime on the ports down is when you go into PTT, the lime goes through a calibration process and gives a nice big spike that blows up amplifiers, and I can assure you it does happen sometimes, and I'm sure others have had the issue of this calibration spike before the lime eventually goes into its normal transmit power, which is a lot lower than the spike that's generated through the calibration process. So Peter, 3BFG alerted me some time ago to the fact that pin 40 goes high after that calibration spike has occurred. So only when that's been done, the ports down will go into transmit. So what I've done, going on Peter's information off the GPIO pin 40, is made that little circuit. I'll show you a picture of it in a minute. If I can find... Right, so all that is picking off pin 40 into an optocouple relay, and then just an RCA connector, and that gives me an earth out to drive a linear. So that's my crude attempt of using pin 40 to get around the calibration issue that happens with ports down. Now, I know a lot of you guys already know this, but some of the new people won't. And there's pin 40 there. I think that's right. Down here's pin 40 on the GPIO connector. So about 3.5 volts comes off that pin, which is enough to drive the optocoupler relay which I used. So that's my little bit for the people that might want to do that. Now, some people just put a lead on pin 40, and when the lead goes red, they know they can transmit. Others count from 1 to 6 or 1 to 7. But anyway, that's my little bit. So Ian, if you're ready to go, if I can come back to camera 1, too many buttons, as usual. There we go. So if you're ready to go in, please stand by for Ian, VK3QL on RTV2. So.
Hello there, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and children. This emblem that you've just seen is tonight the symbol of a historic occasion, the opening of the national television service.
Right, so 217 nets from VK3 obviously, but from Mount View. So that's a great count, and still counting. All right, I'm just looking around for what I'm supposed to do next. The first cab off the rank is the WAC. The Western Amateur Radio Club Hamfest, and we have a slide for that, and it's at a new, very luxurious event centre close to public transport, and lots of parking, air conditioned. So you know, unfortunately they've had to increase the price a bit for entry to pay for this Oh no, that's the. I saw that's just the tables. So the entry is $10. So it's cash only. They don't have EFT yet. All right. So let's bounce along. Right. The next cab off the rank is weekend. Is the Mad weekend or Sunday? Although I believe some people will be working Saturday. So that was the rumour I heard over the air. So it could be Saturday afternoon. It could be Sunday afternoon. So that's that's all very interesting. The Tropo for this period. Let's go to that. Well, let's see if this works. There we have the Tropo maps for the next 5 days. So as we come up to the weekend, we won't have a lot of ducting causing us any issues. So yeah, a bit disappointing that side of things. And what we can also look at with, says he looking for the right thing, is the weather. The weather is going to turn a few showers, a shower or two. So not a lot of rain, but a bit of rain. So I'm sure it won't be up on the peaks where people usually operate from on the microwave story. But yeah, that's the lookout for the both the tropospheric forecasts and the weather forecasts. The next thing is the ISS. Let's touch on that.
Have you tried the repeater in the sky recently? Let's have a look at the International Space Station passes for Melbourne over the next week.
Echo Mike. VK4 Echo Mike, VK7 Delta Whiskey, 57. VK7 Delta Whiskey, VK4 Echo Mike. 57 here also, thanks for the contact. 73's move. VK5QI, VK28.
Right, that's the latest news on the ham TV on the space station. It's a transmitter on the space station transmitting pictures from the space station. It's planned to be installed in the next month or so. So you might like to think about how you might receive that, and the BATC site. The BATC site with all the information on ham TV and how to set up antennas and things with suggestions is all there. Right, so after I'll just do one of the quizzes I was planning to do. So Mick will then, I'll switch across to Mick, and then if Mick, you could pass it back to me, that'll be the best bet. So, all right, here's this week's quiz, the old set of quizzes, and I'll, with a bit of, if we've got time, I might run the new set of quizzes just to get some feedback on those. So here's this week's quiz. It's the last one in a batch, so yeah, there's fresh ones coming. Let's try that again. No, we don't seem to be able to get the quiz to come up automatically, so I shall work out where it is and bring it up manually. So there it is. Go. Don't you just love this? I don't know where the quiz has gone. Interesting, interesting, interesting. All right, perhaps Mick will cut to you if I can. And so I've got an indication that Mick can come in. So with his mic close to him and the fan noise switched off, here is Mick VK3CH.
Okay, good day everyone. Mick VK3CH operating from Doncaster. Now, I have made some changes to the audio. I've realised with the SR system I had the audio at about 40%, but with the hides, of course it's not being converted, so it's going into the full 100%. So we've made some changes. We've set it to 75% with VMix. There's also a threshold in VMix where if everything's quiet, it completely mutes everything. So I'm hoping I don't sound robotic or industrial or whatever. And to further prove that, I've left the fan going, but not full whack, but still enough that Ian said he could hear it. So maybe my voice is over the top of that. As Ian does record this to YouTube, I can watch the YouTube later on and work out where to adjust them level. Okay, enough of that. We'll get into the news. And my news has been getting ready for King Lake. Now, I was going to put a current meter in, and as you can see here, both the negative goes through the meter and the positive goes through this digital meter. Well, I've worked out in the car, of course, the car battery negative is bonded to the car and the aerials are bonded to the car. So that means passing negatives through that only can't be done. So we'll either use that to monitor something in the shack, or it might wind up on a table in a ham fair. We'll see. Also, the buck converter that I've got, if you see that little button there, you can make that toggle between the input and output voltage. So I'm thinking, well, I could always leave it on the output voltage and see what rate my car battery is decaying, and working out whether it's going to start at the end of a microwave session. But I've changed my mind on that one yet. We'll get to that. Oh yeah, I did some tests with Rod, VK3IE, just sending video, because I didn't have the video already at Ballarat, because the buck converter hadn't turned up, and I had turned up, but I hadn't got round to installing it. So we installed that. Sorry for the dark looking pictures. That was taken with the camcorder in the street, and there just grabs off the video from it. And it all worked. We got pictures through on 23 SEMS, 2.4. I got it in colour at one stage, but with a bit of Wi-Fi noise. We couldn't quite get 10 gigs, and Ray ACR came up, but I couldn't quite get to him because not a good path. Now, because the street is on a bit of a slope, and I couldn't adjust the dish properly, I think it was just the dish not being set correctly. We've had this before when I'm in King Lake, where a couple of degrees, bang, beautiful video, a couple of degrees, lost. So we'll try on King Lake. And of course, this will be with the new extra 2 metre lengths of coax, because the aerial's mounted up on top of the car instead of everything on a frame. So that will be the proof of whether, if that's made things bad or not. Now, this battery that I've got, I've decided I am going to install it on the back of the car and leave it there for microwave activity. So what we'll do is we'll plug it in and we'll pull the ignition key out of the car, which makes the relay not pick up, so that this will be the only thing powering the radios. If I do put the ignition in and switch it onto accessory position, the car battery powers the radios. So what we can do that way is this thing can run the whole session, and this can get worn out, then I unplug it, and then when I start the car actually will start. So just saves that bit of a worry. Now, I'm putting identification on my video signal. Look, you know, it's a mad contest and that, and people know who you are, so it's probably not a big deal. But I do have a basic stamp PC that can run like a microcomputer that can put text up. But you know, that needs to be installed. Or I was thinking I can get a another buck converter for 19 volts and you know, make the laptop pretend that that's its power supply so that it doesn't conk out, and we could have a webcam and, you know, vMix and, you know, have all sorts of nifty things. But I know we'll think about it. I've ordered a buck converter, but it'll probably take a while to get here. These very yummy pass-through for 10 gig and 5.7 gig have arrived, and they've been installed ready for the Hamfest. And there's a little bit of specs on it, and a graph of the losses up to 18 gigahertz. So at 10 gigahertz, I'm figuring it's not too nasty. And that's riding into the future. So there you go. Okay, what else have we got? Okay, so there's some details of us at King Lake, where we'll operate. So yeah, that's got right into the 75. So if you actually completely type that in, you'll probably work out roughly to the nearest, I don't know, 50 meters or yards, I forget what it is, or less, pretty much where I will be. So yeah, I'll probably be a bit ready before 2 o'clock, we'll see. Once again, I'm watching the weather. If it changes and I know for a fact that it's horrible out there, I won't bother. But there's a nice pie shop out there, so I might drive out there anyway and get a pie, and we can try and set up. At least I can set up a lot faster and pack up a hell of a lot faster than what we used to. So we'll attempt to give that a go. Now, because I still haven't fixed up my Stream Deck yet, we're using the mouse, so we're back. And this arrived in the post just today. A couple of mobile whips to with PL259 connected on the end of them. And what I've got is I've been using a little small whip because our carport's very low, but it's been a 2 meter whip, and I've been, you know, talking on 2 meters and 70 centimeters, so probably not the best thing to do for your radio. So these are both dual frequency. So one will be for the radio that's at the back of the car, you know, the ID 5100, and one at the front of the car can be for the existing 7100, you know, on the dashboard or near the front of the car. So I'll see how that goes. I do have a very long mobile whip, so I'll see people like Nick that are further away. If he's hard to copy, we'll see. But I have had this sitting in on my lap inside the car, and I've spoken to Andrew VK3FS from King Lake, full quietening. So I think when you're 600 metres above sea level, that you don't stress over huge antenna. Plus, with the bigger antenna, I do get pager breakthrough on 70 centimetres, not 2 metres, on 70 centimetres. So it sounds like pager breakthrough, just occasionally. So I'm sure these will stop that. Okay, I think I've said everything I was going to do. So yeah, any reports on the audio, and whether it's too much, too little, or too weird, but I will listen to it on the YouTube later on. Okay, that's all from me this week, Ian. So hopefully, yes, I will be out on Sunday. I wasn't going, didn't hear anything about people going out on Saturday. I'll probably just do the Sunday at this stage. Okay, cheers all.
Right, thanks Mick, that's great. Yeah, the audio wasn't great, but it was copyable in terms of understanding what you've said, but there was a lot of artifacts coming across. So anyway, that's something to work on. I'm sure you'll chase out the gremlins, as if there's certainly an evening for gremlins tonight. All right. So the things have got a bit jumbled here, so I'm not sure what is going to come. Yeah, there we have the Yarra Valley Hamfest is coming up on the 1st of March, not far behind the Western Suburbs one. Yeah, that's after 12 years returning. So do keep perhaps you might think of going out into the Yarra Valley and enjoying the summer weather that Melbourne experiences. Right, I think I've recovered the quiz that I was going to show. I actually, as I said, to have two, but let's see what happens when I roll this. Well, that didn't go as well as I'd hoped, but anyway, it's all good fun. I do know what I did wrong. Made changes that I didn't test. The one thing you have to do in streaming technology is test, and test again. And of course, I made some changes on the fly before going to air. So that's not a good way of doing things. As demonstrated. Now, what I am thinking I might just cut back to you, Neil, and so yeah, that's probably it. And I think I have. Can't keep Lucy off the screen, so I think I'll be able to get her back on the screen. Let's and finish off with a scroll, and then I'll drop carrier on the K and hand it back to you, Neil. VK3 BCU. This is VK3 Quebec Lima signing for this evening.
Right, thank you, Ian. And Yeah, live TV, you can't beat it. Last time I looked on YouTube, there was about 20 people watching, so that's fantastic. We really appreciate that people do tune in on a Tuesday night. So it's been a short net this evening, but not to worry. It was all very informative. Now, next week, we have a guest net controller, and that'll be John, VK3ATV. So look out for John next week, so you can call him just before the net and check in. So I'm sure he'll do a pretty good job. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you the week after next. Cheers.